Back in the 1970s is when I went to high school, and there was a guy back then, a comedian named Steve Martin, who's still around, but back then he was it. He was the only one going. I was a big fan. This is a song about him, sort of in a little weird way. Well, I recently got together with two friends I hadn't seen for years. We met up in my apartment and shared a pizza and a couple of beers. The conversation was stilted, talk of kids and jobs and wives, trying to make some kind of sense out of what we'd done with our lives. Soon the stories began a journey back through time to reveal three friends in high school and the days we left behind. Back to a time when nothing mattered but adventure every day. Like the day we stole Steve Martin, or tried to, anyway. There's this little record store, the kind you don't see anymore, with big comfy couches by the magazine rack and shag rugs on the floor. There was a stand-up record promo of a man about 5 foot tall, wearing fake nose and glasses and an arrow through his head and a sign that said, "Let's get small." Well, the manager there was big and tough as nails and told us no, we couldn't have him. And no, it wasn't for sale, but we knew we had to have him, 'cause we was three biggest fans. So we decided to steal Steve Martin, and we devised the perfect plan. You see, Pete was gonna be the decoy, and I was gonna do the deed. Fred would drive the getaway truck in the new Ford his dad bought last week. We drove up that next afternoon singing the Mission Impossible theme, trying hard to hide our fears so the other two wouldn't see. Well, Pete went in first and led the manager to the back to look for an old Coleman Hawkins record we knew they wouldn't have. And me and Fred sat quietly waiting, and each breath weighed a ton, 'cause we were gonna steal Steve Martin, and the moment of truth had finally come. Well, I slipped on my red ski mask and boldly walked into the store. I said, "I'll just be taking this." Then I ran like hell out the door. I backflipped into the truck bed with the Holy Grail in my hands, and I signaled to the driver, "Come on, take us to the promised land." It must have been 10 seconds, but it seemed like it lasted a year, waiting for that truck to move, 'cause Fred couldn't find first gear. Whoa, the manager came out like a freight train. He reached down and grabbed the cardboard Steve. Then he looked at me straight in the eye and said, "Get out of here, you stupid thieves." Yeah, well, the truck had finally got in gear, and we took off like a shot. We drove around the corner to the bowling alley parking lot. Well, Pete walked up a few minutes later, and we all shared our stories, laughing about the one that got away and our near brush with glory. We hopped back in the truck and went searching for something new. Three heads silhouetted in the window, driving down the avenue. Yeah, it felt so good to spend some time with the people that knew me then. People I call my friends these days, they know a different man. But those times of true adventure, well, they didn't last too long. But the day we stole Steve Martin, hey, we almost stole Steve Martin. Yeah, the day we stole Steve Martin lives forever in my song.